Thank you all so much for providing your honest feedback. Those of you who did, it really helps when you let me know what's working and what isn't. Let's quickly review some of the things you and your classmates shared, and I will let you know what I'm thinking in terms of what adjustments we can make moving forward. So on the survey, I had asked, what's one specific lesson or activity that you have enjoyed? And here's what you said. Roman strong leaders is a lesson I've enjoyed. When we learned about Hannibal and Scipio, so I got a lot of feedback. People did enjoy that lesson with the video clips. We're going to do a similar lesson in our live class tomorrow. I enjoyed the note-taking assignment, but I did see another one here, watching videos and taking notes. It sounds to me like you all maybe enjoy the ed puzzle and the video clips in class. So certainly let me know if that's not the case, but I will try to do more ed puzzles than things like near time. I enjoy the debates in class and the discussion, so we will certainly keep doing that, both during live class and on the self-paced days with our discussion posts. Glad to hear a few folks say, I've really enjoyed all our lessons so far. And then one person said, I don't have a favorite. And I would have loved a little more information just because I'm not really sure whether that means you've enjoyed them all, you're kind of indifferent, or if it means that you haven't liked any of them, so you don't have a favorite. So then let's take a look at what you all said when I asked, what's one specific activity that you struggled with or did not enjoy? I struggled with a Google slide on strong leaders. I did not like the Flipgrid assignment. The long ed puzzles, they take time from my other assignments. I really don't understand any of it, to be honest. I sometimes struggle with the discussion because your attendance doesn't come up on my to-do stream. Nothing, I love everything. Honestly, nothing, I'm enjoying learning new topics. So we were kind of on all over the place with the things that we're struggling with or don't really enjoy, and I want to take a second to respond to some of these. So I knew when I assigned the Flipgrid that some of you were going to enjoy the opportunity to share your personal opinion and use your voice, but that some of you were not going to enjoy being on camera. Appreciate all of you who, even if you were uncomfortable or the Flipgrid assignment was out of your comfort zone, stepping up and sort of pushing through that discomfort. Really, really proud of you for showing that grit and perseverance there. The long ed puzzles. Well, I'm not sure about this one because the longest ed puzzle I've assigned was 15 minutes. Now, I know that pausing to take notes and answer questions means it takes longer than 15 minutes to complete, but you have to remember that on self-paced days, you should be treating the amount of work as a 50-minute class, not as a homework assignment. That being said, I don't intentionally try to give you 50 minutes worth of work. I do think that's unfair to you and too much because we're not in the traditional classroom. If you need extra time to do an assignment to your best ability, all you have to do is email me. I'm hesitant, so I think this is a really good point that one of your classmates raised. The discussion posts, sometimes you might forget on those self-paced Monday and Thursday because it's not a separate assignment, so it doesn't come up on your to-dos. I'm hesitant, though, to set it as an assignment because I'm worried it might confuse folks. And tomorrow in live class, we can kind of take a poll and decide whether, as a group, you all would prefer to have the 25-point discussion as a separate assignment that comes up and shows you it's due at noon, or if you would prefer to just practice independent time management skills, such as setting a reminder in your phone to go off, let's say 10 a.m. every day to remind you on Monday and Thursday, hey, have you done the discussion posts for world history? But the common denominator, the thing that really struck me as I read through the things you all said you either struggle with or did not enjoy, is that nobody who said, I struggled with this or I don't understand that, has emailed me to tell me this. We're 3 weeks in, and I'm very glad that you all shared this with me here on this survey, but I wish that you shared it with me 2 weeks ago from you all, and I really could have helped you if I just saw an email from you. Okay, so please remember, I say it in every single assignment post. Have questions, confused, need extra time, email me. I do want to throw out there, because I had one other piece of feedback that I didn't stick on the slides, but someone kind of said that, you know, if they had more one-to-one assignments, then they could better demonstrate their learning. And I wasn't 100% sure what that meant, but I did want to throw out to you all that in most cases, if there's a different way you want to demonstrate your learning for me, if I have asked you to do a written assignment and you would rather do a voice recording and just talk it out, or you'd rather jump on Zoom and talk it out to me one-on-one, all you have to do is email me and I'll accept that. I'm often pretty flexible about how you show me what you know. All right, a few reminders, because these are like the big takeaways that I was thinking to myself as I read through your feedback. If you communicate with me, I will help you. Ask anyone who has taken me up on this already. If you need extra time, ask for it. Do not copy, do not cheat. A number of people, it's really, really, really clear when you've left something to the last minute, it's due at 11:59 and it's 11 o'clock. And you open up the assignment and you realize, oh crap, this is going to take me longer than the 20 minutes I've left for it. So you open up a tab in Google and you paste the question in, and the first Wikipedia article or Khan Academy article that comes up, you swipe the first line from it and paste it in. And it's really offensive because I can tell that you did that. By the way, also, it's probably that 3 or 4 of your classmates did the same thing. So when I see it coming up in everybody's assignment, I know exactly what y'all did. And it's a waste of your time and mine. I do not need you to Google things for me. I want to see what you know, what you understand, the connections you're making. I want to see what you're capable of. So if you have screwed up and you have only left yourself, you haven't left yourself enough time to do the work, email me and just say you would like extra time. Especially on Nearpod, but this is true on Edpuzzle as well. And some of you have been turning in Google Slides worksheets blank as well. Do not leave the questions blank. I always check. Blank equals no credit. Always. Do not think that you are slick pressing turn in on a Google Slide worksheet, leaving it blank. I check every single one, you will get a 0. If you complete the Nearpod, but you leave all of the answers blank in the questions, the best you're getting is a 50%. But Miss Lund, what if I don't understand what to do? Shouldn't I skip the questions then? No. What I would much rather you do than rush through an assignment is email me and say you'd like extra time because you didn't understand the question or what you were supposed to do, and then say, Miss Lund, can we meet tomorrow, or when are you able to meet with me to go over this so that you can help me understand? Please keep in mind, if you aren't adding to the discussion post Monday and Thursday, you're losing 50 points per week. You're also getting marked absent, but you're losing out on 50 easy points per week. And you're also not getting those points if you copy something else a classmate already posted just to check the box. Really, I love the ideas that you all have been sharing, coming up with, those of you who have been diligent about contributing to these discussion posts. These posts go live, meaning they're posted on the classroom stream at 12:01 the day that they're due. So this morning's post was available from 12:01 to 12 noon. You had 12 hours, technically, to post. So if you are a night owl and you are already up at midnight, you could check then, add to it, and then if you sleep in and forget, you're good. Tuning into the morning announcements, it's there and posted at 8:30 when the morning announcements start. So figure out what time works best for you and make sure you're adding to those discussion posts. Okay, let's switch gears to our focus for today, which is to start to transition away from looking at the factors that help an empire expand to considering what factors may contribute to an empire's collapse. Today's focus: consider, what does it mean that an empire collapsed? What factors weaken an empire, leading to collapse? And is the fall of empires a sudden event or a gradual process? First, let's take a moment and predict. What are some factors that might weaken an empire? What does it mean that an empire collapses? Key point: when historians say that an empire collapsed or fell, they mean that the government that created the state and ruled over the lands no longer has any power over those lands or the people who live on them. This is more than just electing a new president to replace the former one, or a king being overthrown by someone who then takes his throne and rules as a new king. Remember the current event we looked at, where reporters were warning that China may try to invade and take over Taiwan. If China succeeded, the Taiwanese government would collapse, and the lands and people of Taiwan would fall under Chinese rule. Another key point: when an empire collapses, the state, the empire, the country, is no longer known by the same name or ruled by the same leaders. It usually also means some of the lands that had been part of that state have been lost and are either independent, so they've become their own state, or they've become part of a powerful new empire. Note that the land and the people still exist, but they're incorporated into a new state, often one with a different form of government, different language, and different culture than their own. Because empires are large and complex, when historians talk about the fall of an empire, they are typically talking about a long, gradual process, not a single cause or sudden event. Take a look here at the multiple causes of the fall of the Roman Empire. You can see this illustrated clearly, that the Roman Empire did not collapse from one sudden event or a single factor, but from a number of different factors working together to gradually weaken the empire over time to the point where the government disintegrated. It could no longer hold on to the control over the lands and the people, and the Roman Empire collapsed. 4 of the common factors that historians use to help explain the collapse of empires are weak leadership, or political issues, environmental issues, such as destruction from flooding, famine, anything that leads to a lack of resources and social unrest, invasion by outsiders, especially effective if your empire is lacking resources for weapons or your soldiers refuse to fight and defend. And of course, economic troubles. These might be things like high inflation, heavy debts, and many people being out of work. We'll explore each of these 4 common factors in detail, and by the end of the unit, you'll be able to identify many examples of each one. continue to keep in mind that no one issue by itself brings down a massive empire. Rather, it's a combination of these factors working together that slowly chip away at an empire's power until it loses control over its lands and collapses.